I started taking college classes at 16 at a local junior college. Instead of a cafeteria or local shops to walk to for lunch, like in high school, there was just one food truck. It was gray with a waffled aluminum side and a blue awning. There was no menu, and the small rectangle slide window didn't show much of the people inside. Food trucks weren't a thing back then, and students called it a roach coach. I'd already gotten some scary things said to me by more than one campus teacher. I dropped an English class when one referred to me as jailbait in front of everyone. I was already aware of how alone I was and how scary it was to be a minor. Unlike that teacher, I found a home in anthropology class where a kindly professor named Toby Coles and a cultural geography teacher named Dick Solomon encouraged my questions in class, did not make fun of me. No danger was drawn towards me in their presence. So I followed them around a bit during meal times, like a baby duckling. Like Dick Solomon, the geography teacher, I bought something called a BLT, a bacon, lettuce, tomato sandwich from the food truck. $3.75 seemed like a lot to spend on the sandwich at the time, but it was toasted white bread with mayo, a slather of butter, warm honey mustard, sweet barbecue sauce, 3 strips of bacon, and lettuce with just the right amount of coolness to break the crack and the crunch of the bacon. Did I break a tooth? Nah, that's just a bacon bit. When I was handed my change, I could finally see who was working inside. Dark-skinned Asians. I began to wonder if the Roach Coach comments were anti-Asian. I was in Livermore, California. The food truck had the exotic location of San Leandro, California printed on it. For Livermore people with their cowboy hats and talk against foreigners, San Leandro was the Badlands. I knew San Leandro to be a place where buses run and immigrants could buy ingredients in grocery strip malls that they couldn't find elsewhere. But that life and Livermore life were like different planets. Then one day, Toby Coles unpacked his leather bag at the front of the classroom, and out of character, he was a bit late. Class, I want to tell you a story. I got myself some dinner from the food truck, and do you know what a colleague said to me? He said, you know, you might be eating dog if you eat that sandwich. Some of the class leaned back. Some laughed. I froze. Toby Coles continued. So to deal with that ignorance, I said, if it's dog, then it's mighty good and I enjoy eating it. Some people are ignorant. I teach this class to change some of that, but cultural anthropology has its origins in some of the worst ideas of how we split people by race and racial prejudice. He checked our cultural assumptions weekly with stories from his own life and the life of his son. One example was how his son was followed around in a store when he was just shopping for a Father's Day gift. The class went quiet when Toby Coles talked about his family's emancipation papers. Some students bowed their head. Though I started bringing a can of Diet Coke and a breakfast bar filled with blueberry jam to save a bit of money, I felt good about eating at the so-called Roach Coach because of Toby and Dick Solomon, and I held my head high. I didn't have Toby Cole's big, boisterous way, but I did my part to show friendliness and welcome for the food truck owners. Being from San Leandro, the city, not the suburbs, I don't know what they thought of the smiley Chinese girl in Livermore trying to make small talk with them when all they wanted to do was get my order out of the grill with my BLT bacon, lettuce, tomato sandwich. On Lunar New Year, I said, Sunny Phai Lop and Gung Hei Fa Choi. And the woman poked her head out from under the blue awning, pushed her body through the window. Hey, you! Come here! Take this! She gave me a lucky red envelope because I wished her roach coach prosperity. Turns out she's Vietnamese and she celebrated Lunar New Year just like me.